Fernando Alonso was one of the drivers that had a very interesting race in the Austin GP, but for all the wrong reasons. The fact that Alonso was able to continue driving the car after the accident he had with Stroll and finish P7 is something that shows what kind of a driver Alonso is. Still, the FIA decided to give him a 30-second penalty due to his driving without a rear mirror. This happened for more than 15 laps, with the mirror being loose, and the FIA did nothing about it in the race, only to take action afterwards. This is something that truly grinded Alpine's gears, as they have lodged a protest towards the FIA for this penalty. After the accident with Stroll, Alonso was almost sent fully airborne, and it's truly lucky that his car landed on the ground the way it did. On top of that, Alonso was able to go to the pits, change the front wing and the tires, and continue his march on the field. At the end of the race, we saw Alonso sitting on the tire of his car, being grateful that he had managed to escape that accident with no consequences at all. Stroll said that he was at fault for the accident, but it's not like he hit Alonso's car. It was the other way around. According to the Canadian, Alonso could have moved a bit earlier to the left, and in that way avoided the situation from happening. I mean, I definitely moved late, but there was a big difference in speed. I was judging more or less, kind of picking where he was behind me. But it's not like I hit him on the side of his car. The impact is still his front wing to the rear of my car. I gave him plenty of room on the left of the track, so it's not like I squeezed him or anything like that against a wall. He could have moved earlier and went more to the left. He didn't have to get so close to me either. So there's a lot of different ways you could look at the incident. It was a shame. It was close wheel-to-wheel racing and unfortunately just made contact. Still, the accident happened at speeds of around 300 kilometers per hour, and that is something that Stroll should have never ever done. If you are planning to move late or to move under braking, rest assured that there are some hefty penalties waiting for you. Still, the FIA seemed to have given Stroll a very small penalty, a 3-place grid penalty for the next GP in Mexico. This is something that doesn't sit right with many F1 experts and ex-F1 champions, including Jacques Villeneuve. According to him, Stroll needs to receive a 1-race ban for his actions, something that would teach him a lesson of the consequences his late move made. We had a pretty exciting race in America, but not always for the right reasons. We saw a bit of everything: masterful driving, but also dangerous actions and drivers who drove badly. It was a mix of anything and everything, but that's what this show is all about. When I talk about dangerous driving, I'm talking about Lance Stroll. He should be suspended for 1 race for the Fernando Alonso incident. The FIA have been very lax in both Formula 1 and lower classes, with drivers swinging out on the straight when that's the most dangerous thing there is and the last thing you want to see. It's pathetic and extremely dangerous. By swinging on the straight, you endanger other drivers, possibly fatally, because you can cause a huge accident like that. And that's because you consciously decide to do something like that, not because you are making a mistake. So it's really unacceptable. Although Alonso doesn't seem to be really mad at Stroll, classifying this as a racing incident and saying that stuff like this happens when you are racing, the 2-time world champion is very furious as to how the race ended for him after the checkered flag. According to Alonso, the penalty that the FIA issued to him is truly a joke, and he shouldn't have been given this penalty after managing to drive that car perfectly well and climbing it to P7. Honestly, when you see the thing on the TV, I think it is a racing incident, to be honest. We move basically at the same time to the left, and that was the trigger of everything. So I think it was a very unfortunate moment for everyone, said Alonso regarding the accident with Stroll, only to continue talking about the penalty he received from the FIA. Thanks for all the messages I received yesterday and today. It's one of those rare times in sport that I feel we are all on the same page and share the same opinion towards rules and regulations. Therefore, Thursday is an important day for the sport that we love so much, as this decision will dictate if we are going in the right direction for the future. Thanks again for all your support. On top of that, Alpine came with an announcement protesting Haas's lodged protest to the FIA when it comes to the legality of Alonso's car, saying that the protest came 24 minutes later than the deadline. The FIA has the right to black and orange flag a car during the race if they consider it unsafe, and on this occasion they assessed the car and decided not to action the flag. Moreover, after the race, the FIA technical delegate considered the car legal, said Alpine. Still, it's evident that the French team will lodge a protest over the FIA's decision, and Alonso is here to support it. According to him, the outcome of Alpine's FIA protest will determine whether or not F1 is in safe hands. But let's go on the other side of things and see why this happened in the first place. Haas is the team that started it all, as they have lodged a protest for the damage to the cars that Perez and Alonso were driving on the grid. This is something that has happened multiple times to Magnussen in the 2022 season, for which he's been required to go to the pit stop and change certain parts of his car, such as the front wing. The rear right mirror was missing from Alonso's car, and prior to it flying away, it was completely loose. The mirror flew away right when Alonso was completing a pass on Magnussen, and in this case, the car basically doesn't have a safety equipment. According to Haas's principal, Günther Steiner, it's equivalent to not having your headrest on. I'm not targeting anybody. I mean, for me, it needs to be consistent. The FIA is the regulator, and they need to get consistent. If there is a mirror missing and the rule says you need to have 2 mirrors, why can you say we had an accident? There's only 1. You still need to have 2. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not okay. We need to find a way to make it okay or not, that you know what you're doing, and that is what we tried to find out, if it is consistent or not. At least we work on the future. To drive without a mirror, in our opinion, in the rules it says you have to have 2 mirrors. It's pretty simple. I mean, there was 1 mirror. How he lost it, I don't really care. We saw it flapping, and then they should get a black and orange, and then it flew off. And then he should be disqualified because he has no safety equipment. It's the same as if your headrest comes up, you need to go out. Still, Alpine isn't happy with how the situation turned out against them, and they are going to take this much further than everybody else thinks. Haas also protested the legality of Perez's car, but it seems like the Mexican was able to provide decent proof that his car wasn't truly endangering anyone, given the fact that the end plate had flown off and wasn't attached to the front wing. Magnussen was forced to pit for situations like this, and he called the FIA's decision to not penalize Perez a bullshit one. What happens from this point on? It seems like Alpine has taken a hit in the Constructors' Championship, with Norris finishing P6 and Ocon finishing P10, and McLaren is now yet again close in the fight. With Ricciardo and Alonso out of the points, the Woking-based team has managed to cut the lead to just 6 points with 3 races left on the calendar. With that being said, what do you think is next for Alpine? Do you think they have the right to protest Alonso's penalty? And do you believe Haas had the right to file these protests after everything that happened to Magnussen during the 2022 season? Let us know in the comments below.